Emma had always been the type to finish her work. Even if it meant staying late, it was nearing 11 p.m. and the office was eerily silent. Everyone else had gone hours ago, leaving her alone on the 12th floor of the towering corporate building. The city lights outside twinkled, a stark contrast to the dim, almost suffocating stillness inside. As she tapped away, the rhythmic clatter of the keyboard filled the empty space. She paused to stretch her neck and glanced at the clock. Just 30 more minutes, she muttered to herself, trying to shake off the unsettling feeling of being watched. The feeling had been growing ever since the janitor had locked up earlier, wishing her a good night. At first she chalked it up to her imagination. After all, late nights in the silence could play tricks on anyone. But then she heard it, a faint click down the hall. Emma froze, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. The sound was subtle, like the soft click of a door latch. She knew everyone had gone home, and she distinctly remembered hearing the janitor lock the main doors. It's probably just the building settling, she told herself, though her heart was pounding. She stood to investigate, armed only with her phone. The hallway was dimly lit, the motion-activated lights flickering on as she walked. "Hello?" she called out, her voice cracking slightly. No response. She was about to turn back when she saw it, an office chair spinning slowly at one of the desks. She stared, frozen in place. There was no draft, no movement to explain it. The chair spun lazily, as if someone just had pushed it. "Okay, this is ridiculous," she whispered, more to convince herself than anything. She approached the desk cautiously, her shoes clicking against the polished floor. As she reached out to stop the chair, her phone buzzed violently in her hand. She yelped, nearly dropping it. A message flashed on her screen. It said, "You shouldn't be here." Her stomach dropped. The number was unknown. She spun around, scanning the empty office. The silence pressed down on her like a heavy blanket. "Who's there?" she demanded, trying to sound braver than she felt. A loud thud came from the break room. Emma's pulse raced as she turned toward the sound. The glass door to the break room was ajar, and the light inside flickered weakly. She crept toward it. Her hands were trembling. The room was oddly empty, at least that's what she thought, until she saw a coffee pot. It was shattered on the floor, dark liquid seeping into the tiles. Her phone buzzed again. Another message. It said, "Behind you." Emma spun around, her scream catching in her throat. The hallway was empty. She stumbled back, clutching her phone. Her breath came in a shallow gasp as she tried to process what was happening. The lights in the office flickered violently, plunging the space into intermittent darkness. In the flashes of light, she saw it, an outline of a figure at the far end of the hall, tall, unmoving, and just watching. Emma bolted. She didn't care about her bag, her laptop, or the unfinished work. She sprinted for the elevator, slamming the button repeatedly. The doors opened painfully slow, and she threw herself inside, hitting the ground floor button. As the elevator doors began to close, she saw the figure again. This time it was closer, just standing outside the range of the flickering lights. Its head tilted unnaturally to the side, as if it was studying her. The door shut, and the elevator descended. Emma pressed herself against the wall, clutching her phone. She kept her eyes on the door, praying it would stop before the lobby. When the elevator finally dinged, she burst out into the empty lobby and ran straight for the exit. The night air hit her like a wave, and she didn't stop running until she was several blocks away. The next morning, Emma called in sick. She tried to convince herself it had been stress, a lack of sleep, or her imagination just running wild. But when she checked her phone, the messages were still there, and so was the final one, sent at 3 a.m. It said, "See you tonight." When my sister Lisa died 2 years ago, our family changed forever. We weren't perfect or anything like that, but Lisa's death fractured us. My dad barely speaks anymore, my mom is busy with herself finding charity events, and I've been stuck, angry, looking for someone to blame every time. Lisa was the glue that held us together. She was warm, outgoing, and just always laughing, the kind of person people gravitate towards. She loved hiking, photographing, and the outdoors. Her death, officially ruled an accident, was almost poetic. She slipped while hiking and fell into a ravine. Now, at least that's what the police report said. But if that's true, Why does it feel like her ghost never left? Lisa's ex-boyfriend, named Matt, was never part of our family. He and Lisa dated for about a year before she broke it off. She said he was controlling, obsessive, and constantly texting and showing up unannounced, making passive-aggressive comments when she spent time with her friends. I remember her joking about it once, calling him a stage 5 clanger, but it wasn't funny. Not really. After the breakup, Matt didn't take it well. He kept texting her, leaving her voicemails, even sending her flowers at work. She brushed it off, said he'd get bored eventually. I thought she was right until the funeral. Matt didn't come to the service, thank God, but a week later he showed up on our doorstep. It was a rainy Thursday. My mom opened the door and there he was, holding a bouquet of lilies, Lisa's favorite. I just wanted to pay my respects, he said. My mom, who has never been good at saying no, let him in. Matt sat on our couch, talking about Lisa as if he knew her better than we did. He described her laugh, her smile, the way she always ate her pancakes with extra syrup. My dad stayed silent. His jaw was tight. When Matt finally left, I asked my mom why she let him in. He's grieving too, she said, but I couldn't shake the feeling that Matt wasn't grieving. He was just lurking. Over the next few months, Matt just kept appearing. He showed up at my family barbecues, holiday dinners, even my dad's birthday party. Always uninvited, always with some excuse. Your mom said it was okay, he claimed, or I thought Lisa would have wanted me here. My parents, blinded by their own grief, let it slide. He's harmless, my mom said. He just misses her. But it wasn't harmless. Not when he started asking questions. Last Christmas, Matt cornered me in the kitchen. She was different with me, you know, he said, leaning against the counter. I stiffened. What's that supposed to mean? He smiled. She told me things she wouldn't tell anyone else. Like what? I said. His smile widened, like how she was scared to die. That night I went through Lisa's journals. She was the type to write everything down, her thoughts, her plans, even a little grocery list. Most of it was normal Lisa stuff, song, lyrics, doodles, random observations, but then I found the entry. I think Matt's been following me. He won't stop texting, keeps saying he knows something I don't. I'm starting to feel like I can't shake him. I showed it to my mom, expecting her to finally see reason, but she whipped it off. Lisa was dramatic sometimes, she said. I'm sure it's nothing. A few days later, I saw Matt's car parked down the street. It wasn't the first time, but I convinced myself it was a coincidence. This time though, I knew. He wasn't watching our family. Ali, he was watching me. Last week was my dad's birthday. Matt showed up. I couldn't take it anymore. I confronted him outside, away from my parents. What the hell are you doing here? I snapped. His smile didn't falter. Pay my respects, he said. Lisa broke up with you. She wanted nothing to do with you. Why can't you just let her go? His eyes darkened. She told you that? Yes, I said. He took a step closer. His voice dropped into a whisper. She told me a lot of things too. Things she didn't tell anyone else. Then he said something I'll never forget. You know, I was there, on the trial. I felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. What did you just say? I said. He smiled again. She didn't fall. She looked me in the eyes and asked me to let her go. My stomach turned. You're lying. He tilted his head, studying me. Am I? Ask yourself this. If she slipped, why didn't she scream? I called the police that night. I told them everything. The stalking, the journal, his confession. When they went to his apartment the next morning, it was empty. No furniture, no clothes, no sign he even lived there. It's been a week now. I haven't told my parents what he said. I don't know if they believe me or not. Every night, I double check the locks. Every night, I sit in my bed clutching my phone, too scared to sleep. Last night, I finally decided to look through Lisa's journals again. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I missed something. Maybe I was looking for answers, but this time, there was something new. The last page, which had been blank before, now had a single sentence. It said, "He's not watching, he's inside." Hey guys, sorry for the wait. It was a busy 2 weeks for me, but if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good day and don't get any nightmares.